Last time on Offroad Outlaws, we rescued a Squarebody Dually from the junkyard. We kind of rebuilt it just enough to get it running, and then we took it for its very first test. Now, in this video, we're going to continue our journey with that same truck that, again, we found in the junkyard, kind of went through, loaded up, and then rebuilt just a little bit. And we're going to build this thing to a much higher level in this video. So if that's something y'all are ready for, make sure you keep watching for the rest of the video. Now, this is what we had when we left off last time at the end of the previous build. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to start with this sort of as a base, but we're going to make the truck a lot bigger. And my sort of goal around this is to make it big enough to take it back to that same junkyard, drive over the crushed cars that are in, or rather the falling apart / crushed cars that are in that junkyard already, and then maybe literally drive it up and over the fence just to see if it can do it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch out the entire suspension setup underneath. I don't know if I want to go full monster truck on this thing, like full monster suspension, or if I want to do like solid axle pro. I feel like solid axle pro might be a little bit more functional, but at the same time, doing a monster setup on this truck would be really cool because I rarely ever see monster setups on like single cab square body dualies like this one. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to do the monster setup. We're going to see what it looks like. And if I think that it's going to be a good direction for the truck, we'll kind of keep that idea going. Now, let's go ahead and upgrade the suspension to its maximum stage if it wants to unfreeze. Come on. Thank you. All right. Now, let's see. Travel is going to go all the way up, like through the roof, and it's going to just stay like this. No, it's not. It's going to go up in the rear as well, and it's still a little bit... Okay, that's about even. That's about even. Now we got to figure out what we want to do with the axis width. I think we're not going to go super crazy with it. We're just going to go, like, enough to where we can fit the type of wheel and tire package that we want, but not really any wider than that. Now, the damping setup that I really like to start with is I always like to go to about 2800 in the front and rear, and that gives me a really nice sort of even middle ground to start with, and then if I want to go up or down from there or adjust as necessary, we totally can. Now, shock size will go up to about I'm trying to keep it realistic-ish, so we're going to go to about a 1.4. 1.4 seems definitely doable and usable. And then let's see, stiffness, I'm going to bring that back to about 12.8. 12.8, I've kind of found that especially for the front, it helps prevent that weird like bouncing sensation that some of these trucks get into. So we'll do 12.8 in the front and 13.8 in the back with no rear steer. Now, looking at the rear now, it looks pretty, like, it looks very, like, underbuilt, if you will, but I think it won't look quite as underbuilt, especially in the rear, once we put everything together with the wheel and tire setup. So I think maybe 1.5 on the height, and then on the width, we're gonna do probably about... I like 1.6, but unfortunately, it's clipping into the shocks, and it's gonna need to go a little bit further out. Now in the front, what we'll do is just match it, and so it's going to be 1.5 on radius and about, 1.6-ish on width. So let's see, 1.7, actually 1.7 looks a little bit better. So we're about where we want the truck to be now. We just need to fix the axis width in the back to where it's not completely clipping the rear shocks, and I don't think... Actually, we might not be able to fix it. That's the annoying part here, is we might not actually be able to fix that. Like, we can, we'll just have to make it so cartoonishly wide that it starts to lose a bit of its, like, I don't know, it's like it almost starts to lose a bit of the appeal at that point. I don't know. Let's see if we can, like, make the front wider to compensate. The only problem is if we do that, now we need to make the wheels and tires a little bit wider in the front so it also, so it also doesn't look out of place. this is kind of the weird back and forth that you get into when you're building trucks like this, is that you don't want it to clip in the rear, obviously, but you also want the front and the rear to be somewhat balanced, at least enough that it doesn't completely ruin your entire, like, setup. Now, the wheels are also going to get changed, and we're going to make them a little bit larger, not too much larger, but just a little bit. I think we're going to go for a 1.2. And in the back, we're going to go for a 1.2 as well. And then the actual wheel style is also going to get changed. Now, I do like the color that we have on the truck right now. I don't think it's really worth changing the color. But I do want a little bit more of a kind of newer style wheel on the truck. Don't get me wrong, I love the old school style wheels that we had, but I think as far as what we're going for now with this build, it needs something a little bit newer. And actually, I like these a lot. I think the style behind these kind of like really complements what we're going for, but I just want to see what some of our other options look like, because these look really good. These also look really good. I just want to go through the list all the way to the end, and I think what we're going to end up going with is these, because I know we've used them on some, oh geez, all right, that's a little bit sketchy. Let's see, it's 5 from the right, okay, so, or at least, yeah, 5th from the right, should be the right wheels, yep, okay. Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing when you do a dually setup that is that wide. It doesn't always like to position the camera in the right way. Now, we do need to do a couple of little personal touches. We're going to go ahead and do a 3D TC Customs on the side. I just need to make sure that I can actually get to the text, because that's not what I want. There we go, custom text. Sometimes custom text, as y'all know, can get a little bit fidgety in this game. It's very weird how it actually works. And let's see, so what we're gonna do is, in order to make the 3D text, we'll put you in position right there. And then, I think we'll back this down just a tad bit, so kind of make it like a dark gray. And then we're gonna duplicate it, and then we're going to brighten it back up again, and as you can see, it makes a little bit of a shadow behind the other piece of text, and sort of gives it a little bit of a 3D look. Now, for the other side, we're going to go ahead and duplicate this again, bring it around, and then kind of position it somewhat where it was before, somewhat, and it's close. It's close. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but it's close. And we'll take this one, and then we'll duplicate it again, and then brighten it up, and then we'll just get it in the position where we need it. Almost there, and boom! It's good to go. Absolutely 100% good to go. Now, I am a little back and forth about whether or not I want something on the tailgate, but I tell you what we may do is I want y'all to leave your suggestions for what should go on the tailgate of this truck in the comments down below. Now, I know that in the realm of custom liveries, this truck is still in a very, very basic state. I mean, it really is just the 3D TC Customs logo on the side, but at the same time, I kind of like how that looks. I know it's really simple, but it's like not busy at all. And I think with the vibe that this truck kind of gives off, you don't really want to go too over the top with it because, you know, when you think about it, it's still got the stock bumpers. It's still got a very classic look. We deleted the rear bumper and I'm still running the sort of rear exit exhaust. And I don't know if I want to take the toolbox out and go with a stack. I kind of want to take the spare out, but at the same time, the spare is kind of cool to have in there. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take this thing back to the junkyard that we originally pulled it out of, and we're going to crush some cars. And not only are we going to crush some cars, but we're going to see if it can now escape the junkyard completely by itself, like of its entirely own, you know, doing. So let's see, we'll do heavy coal, but most importantly, we're not doing the enhanced grip. We are just doing the stock grip as it normally would be, and we're going to head to Seaside Auto Park, which is where we started, and go ahead and load in. This is going to be really, really good. Not only is it going to be really, really good, but I think this thing is going to escape the junkyard on the first try. Obviously, I think it's going to drive over the junk cars with ease, but I think it's going to drive over the fence, too. The only concern that I have is if it, well, just backflips and stays in the same spot rather than jumping over the fence itself. I think the NOS is going to help. I think the NOS is going to help a lot because it's going to give us a little bit more oomph to maybe get up and over the fence. But even then, I think it may still just do a backflip. So we'll have to wait and see as far as what it does and where it goes. But, oh, we're almost there. We are almost there. God, by the way, I am also extremely excited to see what y'all suggest for the tailgate of this truck. I think, you know, no matter what y'all suggest, I know it's going to be great. Just let me know in those comments down below. And now that we've got this thing out here on a map for the first time, it actually looks even better than I thought it was going to look. Now, let's see. Does it have enough torque to just start off in third? Yeah? Oh my god. Dude, you can just drive it around in third everywhere. That is hilarious. Now, if I remember correctly, we go left? I want to say we go left from there. I love how literally we were just... Oh, wait, I know where to go. Yep, I know where to go. Oh, I love how with the suspension setup we have on this thing, it will basically just... It'll almost wheelie. As a matter of fact, I wonder if we do second gear from a dead stop. It probably will wheelie. Let's find out. And go. Oh, it does! Oh, that's so sick. I love that. Oh my god, I didn't think it was gonna wheelie that easily. Like, now, granted, I know we are running nitrous, but still, will it wheelie from a dead stop in fourth with nitrous? No, it will not. Okay, so it looks like you have to be in, like, second to get the wheelie to work, but that kind of makes sense. You know, I wouldn't expect it to be able to wheelie in fourth, so I'm kind of glad that it will only do it in, like, first and second. First probably runs out a little bit too quick to get it to wheelie, and then second is probably going to be the sort of happy gear for that. I kind of want to go in there. Those look really fun to jump. All right, here's the junkyard. The junkyard from which this thing originally came. And by the way, yeah, I feel like everybody at the shop is probably not going to be able to recognize this thing now that we brought it back. All right, so now let's go ahead and drive it over some of the junked cars. All right, let's turn you around. And now it should make it over these with ease. It should make it over these with absolute ease. Oh, dude, and that suspension setup that we have on it right now, that flexes incredibly, especially for, like, a monster suspension. That is so good. That is incredible, actually. Uh-oh. Come on. Uh-oh, you're stuck. Well, this went well. All right, come on. What about if we go over the back? There we go. That works. I don't think we've found anything in here yet that we can't drive over. Like, legit, I'm pretty sure that we can drive over absolutely everything in here without issue. Probably including the excavator. Now, I don't know if they want me to, but I think we'll do that on a future adventure. Now, let's go over to where this edge is right. Oh, actually, no. You know what? I think the easiest way for us to get up and over this wall is going to be to use this stack of junk cars as sort of a launching pad. And I think we're going to start in second gear. We'll do second gear and nitrous and see if we can actually launch ourselves up and over. Oh! All we did was backflip and come back to where we started. Yep. That I kind of figured was going to be an issue. I didn't realize it was going to be that big of an issue to where it's like just completely not going to work. I have one more idea, and then if that idea doesn't work, then, well, I think we might be not making it over this wall. But let's see. So we're going to try to hit it head on. And then once we have this thing in position, we'll do second gear. And then nitrous. Nope, it's not going to do it. It is not going to do it. Nope. All right, well, bringing it back and crushing some cars was definitely a success, but jumping it over the fence, a little bit of a different story on that. But if y'all want to see the future of where this truck goes, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later.